Howdy folks, my name is the Psychic Pineapple, and today I decided to see if I can beat Pokemon Alpha Sapphire with only a single Amethyst Dragon Wormling. Now first things first is actually getting a Pokemon, so I head over to Professor Birch and pick up, the obvious Grass-type Pokemon, Goomy. Now I'm thinking about what I should name this guy. I'm thinking Phelan. So alongside Phelan, I set out to go beat up other people's pets. Now for a quick little thing about natures and such that I just love to talk about. Phelan is serious, which makes sense, but serious doesn't have any stat boost at all. So that's fine, I guess, but maybe not. It's still better than having nothing. Or, just something that's garbage. But there's not much to say here anymore, because there really isn't. So let's go check out how Brendan is doing. Well, as it turns out, he wants to fight Mia, which is his mistake as Phelan slowly murders his Torchic. I do return to the lapping at Pokeballs, but who needs those? Apparently Brendan thinks I do, as he tries to teach me how to sneak up on Pokemon, but I just ditch him and go towards the first gym, but getting to the next town involves clearing out this large crowd of trainers. When I get there, I find my dad, Norman, but sadly, he doesn't want to fight me. Apparently he thinks I'm too weak, so I just go help this random kid catch a Rolls and go on my way somewhere else. I finally get the ability to Super Train, and I'm going to be using that like crazy today. I'm mainly going to try to follow what's on Smogon for Goomy with its defense and special defense and a little bit of HP. But that's going to take a bit, so let's get on to the next area of the game. I finally reach the Neverwinter Woods. Now while wandering the woods, I encounter the Zentarum. I beat the crap out of the Zent Thug's wolf thing and save the mushroom-loving Artificer. Now, unrelated to this whole sort of thing, I did end up fighting some Magikarp, and Phelan just got paralyzed for 4 whole turns. Isn't that great? I finally make it to Baldur's Gate, and it turns out they have a gym there. Now, the leader of this gym is Roxanne. Thankfully, Phelan has the super effective move in Bubble Beam. Now, he easily makes his way through all of the gym trainers, who I make sure to fight to get the experience, and we finally reach Roxanne. Despite being underleveled, I do easily beat her Geodude. But then her Nosepass comes out, and just brutally beats the crap out of me. Now, instead of grinding against wild Pokemon like you normally would, I just decide, I think I can take her again, so I rush back in there, and promptly lose again. It crits me a few times as well, and no, I shouldn't do that. Well, I could probably easily beat him at this low level if I used, potions. But I'm not weak like that. It's against the rules that I set up. I end up heading to a cave where I beat up a bunch of Pokemon until Phelan reaches level 14. I go back into a rematch, and this time Geodude goes down a lot smoother, with Roxanne wasting her potion on it as well. Nosepass is up next, and Absorb still doesn't do much, but neither does Bubble Beam, until Phelan rolls a nat 20 and crits. He ends up taking down Nosepass, and I receive the Stone Badge. After walking out of the gym, I witness a awkward grunt running away from the Devon people. I end up walking after the dude and catch up to him with someone else's bird for some reason. I was a bit worried for a second there because this Poochyena just howled and raised its attack. But instead of attacking me like one would do when their opponent is, about to die, it howls again, and I just am able to defeat it right there. I end up rescuing that bird and I get on a boat. Well, at least I thought I needed to. But apparently I actually needed to return to Devon first. So I had to walk all the way back after walking to the docks. I head on over to the next town where I decided to enter the gym. I feel like I'm probably going to lose to the first trainer in here, who raises their attack a few times, but I managed to not die. However, I do lose to the second trainer in here. I feel like I could have won that fight, so I go back in and lose a second time because of Low Sweep critting me. Next time through, it crits its Slow Sleep again, and Phelan goes down again. Next fight, it crits on Low Sweep again, and Phelan dies again. It then crits on its first attack, even before it gets Focus Energy off. So I decide to level up Phelan to 18, so it can actually get access to an actual stab move that does decent damage. So at level 18, I go back in and breathe on the Machop with my Death Breath. Now it's time to take out Brawly. I take out his first Pokemon pretty easily, but then out is Makahita, who I end up critting and paralyze in a single turn. Its heal is basically delaying the inevitable. Phelan annihilated this dude, so as usual, I go over to Granite Cave and meet some weirdo who calls himself Steven. Now, after a short chat with him, I head on over to Slateport City and wander around because I have no idea what to do here, because I skipped all the dialogue. But I end up stumbling into the right building, and then I end up getting told to go over to the museum place where I can deal with Team Aqua. Now there, I meet a guy with a boat name, and then I also meet Archie. Both of them just leave as well. Along the road, I run into Brendan, who wants to fight, so let's fight him. First up is Whale Lord. He does not take much damage from my Dragon Breath, but I'm able to paralyze it and slowly chip away at its health. Next up is Shroomish, who only uses Stun Spore, which does nothing because of Sap Sipper. Next out is Combuskin, who I actually think is going to finish Phelan. But he doesn't. Instead, on his last turn, he uses Sand Attack, allowing me to get off a final Dragon Breath and kill it. After that close call, I end up in Maulville and see Wally, but he wants to fight. But I say no, because there's no chance he can beat me. But he won't even let me go into the gym unless I fight him, so I guess I'll fight him. It's his funeral. I open with Dragon Breath because I forgot this game introduced Fairy types, which are immune to Dragon. But Wally just tries to run away by using Teleport, which also doesn't work. Now after a few bubbles, Ralts lands a super effective move against Phelan. And it does nothing. Anyways, I still kick his butt. Now in this gym, Steel Electric types resist all of my attacks. The Dragon also resists Electric, so that's fine I guess. Wattson is next. He leads with a Steel Electric type. Oh fine. However, Phelan here has really good defense stats and nothing really seems to be affecting him. However, a Volt Switch into Magneton that has Magnet Bomb and Confusion makes Phelan suicide himself. I guess it's back to level grinding. Again. His highest level is 21, so I'm gonna come back at level 25. I end up dying to Magnet Bomb there, so I guess 25 was not enough. Okay, level 28. It's fun that I reached a place where I need to do a bunch of level grinding again before I try again. Now at this level, Magneton comes out and literally misses all but his last Supersonic. Next out after that is Magnemite and Voltorb, who keep using Volt Switch back and forth, but due to sheer luck, the paralysis barely affects me, and I break out of that confusion quickly, and easily finish off Voltorb and Magnemite. Now that fight was won with just sheer luck. Honestly, if Magneton didn't miss with Supersonic literally every time, its Magnet Bomb would have gotten me. Now I figure I need a Pokemon for Rock Smash and Double Battles, so I go catch an Electrike and name it Kurt. But Electrike can't learn Rock Smash, so I need to find another Pokemon. Now while looking, I found a Wingull who I catch for later and name her Lilia so I can fly later on. Surf, I think, if they can learn that. I have no clue. I go back to Granite Cave and catch myself a Makuhita, who I name Laszlo. I run back into Brendan and heals up my team. I'm told to go find a guy at the Falls place. We get introduced to Aqua Admin Shelly here in a double battle with Brendan. Whalmer's Water Pulse confuses Mightyena, who hurts herself next turn while Whammer and Phelan take out Grimer. Mightyena ends up killing itself from its confusion, causing Carvana to appear, who isn't really that much of a threat at all, and we win. However, we're also introduced to Team Magma and Maxie, who appear. We are brought back to Fall Arbor and then set off on our way to the next story location. I take the cable car up the mountain and move through all the grunts. I find Shelly again and swiftly dispatch her team, and now it's time to fight Archie. Now I lose this fight very quickly because of Swagger confusion damage. The second attempt I go in, I end up being able to take out Mightyena and Sharpedo pretty easily, but his Golbat confuses me and kills. I end up deciding to grind out levels for a bit and learn a new move in Muddy Water. Now, the next attempt also starts poorly, with Muddy Water missing and getting hurt by confusion again, with Laszlo getting dragged out by Roar again. So instead of switching into damage, I just kind of let Laszlo die. But it roars and brings out Phelan, who tries to Muddy Water, but misses again, and Phelan hurts himself again. Now after a long and annoying fight against Mightyena, I end up killing it. After that, Sharpedo gets killed by a crit Dragon Breath, thankfully, and then Phelan gets confused, but thankfully immediately snaps out of it, and thankfully finally kills Golbat. After that, I beeline it for Lava Ridge Gym. But after that, I ended up fighting Flannery, so I'm gonna one-shot her Slugma with Muddy Water, one-shot Numa with Muddy Water, and finally I'm gonna damage that Torkoal pretty badly, but then it gets healed up. And then I nearly kill it again with a Muddy Water, leaving it barely on a sliver of health. But Flannery doesn't seem to have any more healing items, so Phelan ends up taking it out, and I get myself the Heat Badge. Now after that kinda disappointingly easy gym battle, I head on over to the Petalburg gym to challenge Norman. Slacking hits really hard on turn 1, but so does Phelan. After that, I manage to paralyze it, and Slacking gets healed. But then I start alternating attacks and using Protect. Phelan also levels to 42, and I replace Dragon Breath with Dragon Pulse. Up next is Vigoroth, who starts up and hits hard on turn 1 as well, but Phelan crits on his newly learned Dragon Pulse and one-shots it. Then I begin to alternate my Protects and Dragon Pulses on the last Slacking. Yeah, very easy stuff there. I'm so glad that it has such an easily exploitable ability like Truant. I only needed one try on this gym fight, though I feel as if Phelan didn't kill that Vigoroth in one hit, I might have had a bit more trouble here. And this other kinda slow but not disappointing fight ends, and I get my hands on the Balance Badge. Now then, Wally takes me over to Mallville and gives me Surf, so I should probably go back and get my surfboard, who I named Lilia, instead of Surfboard, like I usually do. I then meet Steven along the road, and we ride a Latios to an island. On this island is a Latias. Team Aqua Matt and a random grunt he brought alongside him decide they want to cause trouble, so Steven and I decide to fight. After watching the start of this fight, I find out I forgot to put Phelan back in the lead, so I waste a turn switching him out, where I immediately get swaggered by a Sharpedo. Of course, but I still do get my attack off. But then the Matang decides it wants to be the MVP of this fight, so he kills both enemies and we win. Thanks, I guess, Steven. Oh, yeah, I also get a free Latias. I guess I'll name her Lamarcia. Steven also hands me a useless piece of jewelry that I will never use. After that, I end up at the weather station where I heal up and deposit Lilia and Lamarcia. But it looks like Team Aqua decided to take over this building, so I guess it's my job, as a literal child, to kick them out. I fight my way up the building, and I finally fight Aqua Admin Shelly. Turns out, this fight's a bit harder than I expected, as Phelan gets swaggered, and then gets murdered with Ice Fang. I swear, every single enemy in these games has some sort of confusion thing that is always almost nearly 100% accurate, or gets every time. So irritating. But when I lose, I decide to reload my save instead, hoping I saved close to where I lost, because there's no way I'm walking all the way from Mallville back here because I lost one fight. Luckily, I did save in like the healing room, but I still have to redo a few fights, so I go do those and make another save. But even after that, I'm gonna have to level up a bit more. These Ice Fangs are really deadly, and from my very limited searching online, I can't get the Eviolite until much later. I finally get lucky and Sharpedo's Ice Fang does something turn 1, and I am able to get lucky and take it out with the Dragon Pulse. After that, I get my next free Pokemon with a cast form. I think I'll name her Kia. I walk outside of the building and get ambushed by Brendan. He wants to fight me. He starts with a Whalmer, and I hit it with 2 Dragon Pulses and that takes it down. Next up is Combuskin, which survives a Muddy Water, but it goes down with the next. And as with the last fight against Brendan, Goomy's ability makes it completely untouchable by his Shroomish. That's not gonna last long though. I have no idea how he actually got this far in the world with only those 3 Pokemon. Makes no sense. I might have to do that as a challenge later. I don't know. I end up seeing Steven in Fortree City, and he makes me follow him over to a route where I get to see a hidden Pokemon. I hit it with a Dragon Pulse to make it Dragon type, and then I hit it with another. Super effective, it's dead. I am, with this new item that I've received from Steven, I head on over to the gym, where I'm allowed to, clear the way in, and then take out all the gym trainers in one go, head back to the Pokemon Center, heal up, and then walk on up to Winona. She opens up this fight with a Swellow, and I send out Phelan, who takes care of it with a critical Dragon Pulse. Next up is Altaria, who hits with a Dragon Breath, but Phelan takes it like a champ. And then he crits another Dragon Pulse. Nice. After that is Skarmory, who I'll probably only be able to kill in 3 hits with Muddy Water. Now it gets off a Sand Attack, and I take out like a third of its health, but then next turn, Phelan crits again, taking it out. Next up is Pelipper, who uses Aerial Ace, which does crit, but it does literally nothing against Phelan. Phelan ends up easily taking it out, making for a bit more of an exciting gym battle than the last two, leaving me with the feather badge. Now after that, I run on over to Lily Cove to pick up my surfboard Lilia, who I also teach how to fly. So, hoverboard, I guess. I head on up to Mount Pyre, where Phelan ends up going down to a swagger from a Mighty Yenna, because of course he does. God, I hate these confusion moves. They're everywhere in this game. After all those fights, I head back up the mountain, and I accidentally move a bit too close and get involved with Archie, who says yo. He then runs away and leaves Matt to fight me instead, and I end up losing this fight because of Poison and Ice Fang. I might try to level up a bit, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna go back and retry, but Phelan, yeah, he gets flinched by Ice Fang, and I have to reset again, so instead of walking all the way back, I just reload for my last save. Now, third time's the charm, hopefully. If Sharpedo comes out and he gets off an Ice Fang, I can definitely take another. I end up killing on the second Dragon Pulse because it doesn't flinch. I get given a red orb as a reward, I think. I don't know, it's been a while since I last paid attention to the dialogue. Now, I actually end up going back to whatever city to get the HM for cut, so I can get a very, very helpful item in my run. And I do that. I find myself at a hut and get my hands on the Eviolite. I then fly on over to Slateport, where Team Aqua has stolen a submarine, where an older man asked me to ride with him over to Lily Clove to go after Team Aqua in their hideout. But Brendan ambushes me on the steps. Well, that was rude. He sends out his bird Pokemon, who I don't remember because it's been a while since I last saw it. It goes down turn 1, but Wailmer takes 2 hits to kill. This time, however, his Shroomish turned into a Breloom, and it actually has fighting type moves, so it can actually do something to Phelan. Outlast is Blaziken, though, who goes down to 2 Dragon Pulses. He literally did not stand a chance against Phelan. I finally go on and make a move against Team Aqua in their hideout. I'm left a bit hurt with Matt Sharpedo. It uses Ice Fang, which seems scary because I haven't healed up at all in this hideout. But with the Eviolite, I can easily survive this, and Phelan's last 2 Dragon Pulses are more than enough. But the submarine escapes. I decide to fly back to Lily Cove and ride on over to Moss Deep, where I still can't take Lilia out of the party because Liza and Tate are a double battle. After a few trainers, I get to Liza and Tate and challenge them with Lilia. I have Lilia use an Oranberry to waste her turn, and thankfully she dies to a Rock Slide. However, Phelan gets put to sleep and dropped into the red. Muddy Water doesn't nearly do enough damage to either Pokemon to really matter, and Phelan ends up going down to a Psychic from Lunatone. I decide to level up a few more times in the hopes that I can deal enough damage to the 2 Pokemon before they slowly kill Phelan. I go back in at level 65 and lose again because of Hypnosis and Sunny Day. Next time, I go in with a bit of a different strategy than the spam water moves constantly. I use Dragon Pulse instead of Muddy Water, but I still lose to the Lunatone, whose Psychic does do a lot. And Solrock still gets off Sunny Day. I'm gonna gain 5 more levels, cause, I like gaining levels in multiples of 5. Next try at level 70, Phelan opens with a Muddy Water on turn 2. But that's because Solrock just loves its Rock Slide flinches. And then I Dragon Pulse after its Sunny Days. And then I go and take out Lunatone. Then Phelan finally Dragon Pulses the Solrock, and I get to claim my Mind Badge. Thinking a bit more, I most definitely could have taken them on at a lower level, but me being me, I take the hardest and most time-consuming route possible. Now when I leave the gym, something happens on a route, and I'm told I should probably go there and stop it. Giant green light coming out of the water seems like a pretty important thing to investigate. Now Steven gives me a Dive HM, which I apparently can't teach Lilia, meaning I need to go catch a new Pokemon that can learn Dive and Surf, and Waterfall. I then go and catch myself a Tentacool, and because it's cool, I name it Kurt II. I then ride them over to Route 128 and dive towards the seafloor cavern where I find the Aqua Submarine and some caves. And when I get there, I find out I need to grab Laszlo, because I need Rock Smash and Strength. Hooray for HMs. And if you're wondering why I seemingly have a team of 4 in battles, it's because of the HMs I needed here. Those being Strength, Rock Smash, Fly, Surf, Dive, and I have those across 3 other Pokemon. I return to the cavern where I find Archie and Maxie, and I guess it's time to fight Archie. Now, Phelan kills Mightyena, but then his defense gets sharply dropped. Phelan takes a chunk of damage and then kills Muck, but Crobat outspeeds me easily and kills Phelan. Rude. Now I'm stuck, and I have to wait as all my 3 other Pokemon die. Now I decide I should level up to the next multiple of 5. When I do that, Phelan one-shots with a Dragon Pulse, 2 shots Muck, 2 shots Crobat, and then gets crunched and defense dropped by Mega Sharpedo, but Phelan, not caring about that, one-shots it with a Dragon Pulse. Now, Archie does what most people would do when losing to a child while doing evil things, and that's just ignoring it and going on and doing his evil plans anyways. Kyogre gets revived and head towards Sootopolis, and Archie immediately begins to regret what he did. So I guess I have to fix his mistake for him. I surf on over to Sootopolis and make my way to the Pokemon Center, where I deposit Kurt II and Laszlo into the BC. Then, I get given the Aqua Suit, because apparently the best person to deal with this problem is a 10-year-old who just left their home only a few days ago. So I walk down to the Cave of Origin and put the red orb into the suit, and it's finally time to do something about Kyogre. Now I write it down beneath the sea and then go over to watch it transform, and now it's time to beat the crap out of this thing. Now it starts off with Aqua Ring, and then Ice Beam, and Dragon Pulse doesn't really do too much damage, but it's still decent. It then uses Body Slam for some reason, which doesn't do much, and then it misses an Origin Pulse. And I kill it. That was kinda underwhelming. I mean, I know you're usually supposed to catch these things, but oh well. After that, Steven gives me the Eon Flute, so I don't think I'll need to fly anywhere else, I think. And now, after saving literally the entire world, I go into the 8th gym. I don't fight any trainers this time, look up a guide on how to walk along it because I don't feel like solving puzzles myself right now, and I head straight to Wallace. First up is a Love Disc? Okay, so now that garbage is out of the way, next up is this Milotic, which I'm pretty sure I remember being pretty scary. It freezes on its first Ice Beam. Okay then. Well, Phelan thaws out and gets off another Dragon Pulse, and Milotic uses another Ice Beam and immediately freezes Phelan again. Damn it. Well, after a slow and very painful wait for getting thawed, the Milotic finally goes down, but Phelan is left in the red. He nearly takes out a Celio, but it doesn't kill, and he takes an Aurora Beam. Ouch. I think I might be able to do this fight though, you know, if Phelan doesn't get frozen again. But, you know, I think I should go try to find out where all the PP-ups are in this game, so I don't have to use too many restoring items between the Elite Four fights later on. Next fight, the Love Disc confuses me, and I just decide this is not worth it. I hate dealing with confusion. I just restart my save from right there. Well, it looks like that was a good idea, because Phelan gets immobilized, because it uses Attract. But Love Disc misses its Sweet Kiss, and it gets a face full of Dragon Pulse. Next up is Milotic, who Phelan crits and manages to two-shot because he didn't get frozen. Whiscash is out next, and it goes down to 2 Dragon Pulses, and Outlast is Seeking. Now Phelan paralyzes it with a Body Slam, and because of this, Seeking can't do anything, allowing Phelan to finish it off with one last Dragon Pulse. And I get my hands on the final gym badge, the Rain Badge. Now, after that, Wallace does give me the HM for Waterfall, and I can, actually go to the Elite Four now, but whatever, I have the Rain Badge now. I go and grab my team of 3 HM users and set off on Victory Road. Oh yeah, I also went and grabbed as many PP-ups as I possibly could and smacked those suckers on Dragon Pulse. I clear out the rest of the road and make my way up onto the final trainer, Wally. I didn't go and heal up at all for this fight, and Phelan is pretty moderately beat up, but that doesn't stop him from one-shotting Altaria and Delcatty as well, and taking out Magneton, Roselia, and even Mega Gallade, who I kill with a freaking Body Slam, which does a lot. So yeah, that was an easy fight. So I finally make it to the Elite Four. I walk on in and head down to the first Elite Four member, Canberra. I'm only able to take out his Mightyena before Phelan dies, and I'm gonna re-enter the Elite Four after I grab some of the items and levels. Next attempt, I go in and am unable to one-shot Mightyena, meaning it gets off its swagger, meaning I'm in for a long and annoying fight. This time, I get pretty low and end up dying to the rough skin of a Sharpedo. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna level up to 85. In attempt 3, Phelan still can't kill a Mightyena in one hit, but it doesn't swagger me, and Phelan can still kill it. Phelan ends up taking a lot of damage here while slowly taking out all of his team, leaving me in the red for Cacturn, who Phelan one-shots. There, Canberra is dead and his annoying confusion stuff. Next Elite Four member, please. It's Phoebe time. Dusclops is out first, and it goes down turn 1, but unfortunately, it curses Phelan. Now, Phelan can easily handle the other Pokemon, but it's a comes to curse. I literally cannot win this fight if Phelan gets cursed, meaning I need to level him up until I can one-shot it. Now, I might be thinking wrong about this, which I hope I'm not, because I'm about to spend a lot of time level grinding. Okay, level 9, let's do this. And nope. Same as the first run. Now how about level 95? This time it opens with a Confuse Ray and Phelan still kills it. Now Dusknoir is a bit annoying, but I also kill it. Now Sableye, he ends up going down in a single attack, as do both Manettes. Oh well, but next up is the Ice Memory Elite Four, Galcia. Oh no. Glalie is up first, and it uses Light Screen, making my main method of attacking, Dragon Pulse, not do much. And I know she has both Frost Lasses as well, meaning I can't really do Body Slam either, because, like, I believe 4 out of 5 of her team are Ice Ghost. I thankfully end up critting the first Frost Lass and take it down in one hit, but I end up going down to Walrein. I'm gonna get a few more levels before going back, because I feel like I might be able to do some more than just die, but you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna level up to 100. I do not care at this point. I'm in for one long and annoying fight. Now this attempt at level 100 goes about as well as the first. Phelan ends up dying to Walrein because of confusion. Does every important trainer in this game have a Pokemon with Swagger or Confuse Ray? It's incredibly irritating. After multiple failed attempts, I'm just gonna give Phelan a whatever berry. I don't remember what it's called. This next attempt, I think I'm getting lucky, but nope. Everything goes wrong again when Phelan gets crit on a Blizzard and his Dragon Pulse doesn't kill in one hit. You know what? I looked online if there are ways to reset your EVs that are quickly accessible. Turns out one of those is by getting a reset bag in Super Training. So you know what I did? I sat there clicking away till I got a reset bag, used it, and then re-super trained Phelan. I basically swapped his defense and special defense. I fully trained his special attack, I believe. Now, newly super trained, let's do this. Everything is just painful. It has been a long time since I've been failing these fights over and over and over again. Phelan one-shots Glalie. Phelan one-shots Glalie. Frostlass 1 misses Frostlass 2, but then one-shots it and then dies to Walrein. Something pretty interesting about this specific attempt, I actually won this fight, but I didn't press record, so I have to redo it. Next fight up, next attempt, it's Glalie and Frostlass. Both of them get killed in one hit, but then that Walrein, it freezes on Blizzard, and I have no idea how lucky I was, but it missed multiple of those Blizzards afterwards, and then I don't know why. I was frozen for so many turns, and it just kept missing or using water attacks. It was amazing. I have no idea. I was left on, like, very low health, and then its Glalie came out. It's her last Glalie. It used Ice Shard. I'm like, oh no, I'm dead. I'm in very low red. But nope. Phelan's on 5 HP left, and he one-shots it with a Dragon Pulse. It's amazing. Now, that Galcia fight was way too close and way too annoying and time-consuming for me. It just sucked so much. Pain. Now it's time for the final Elite Four member, Den of the Drake. Most of his team goes down easily, except for Flygon 2 and Salamence, who both deal enough damage to kill Phelan. Next time, though, I literally one-shot every single Pokemon. None of them caused any problems whatsoever. It was hilarious. I protect against Salamence on turn 1, and then the next turn it misses Dragon Rush, and I one-shot it. Next, it's Flygon. Instead of attacking, it tries to Supersonic, which also misses, allowing Dragon Pulse to one-shot it. It was super easy. Good thing Phelan's primary attack is a special Dragon-type move. And now, it's Steven, the champion. On attempt 1, I two-shot Skarmory, but I take some damage along the way. Next up is Aggron, who I still kill easily. Good thing my special attack is so good, since they resist all my attacks. Claydol survives just long enough to get off a light screen. Of course. So I try to stall out the light screen with Protect, but Cradilly uses Confuse Ray. I hate that move. It has appeared in every single difficult fight for me. Either that or Swagger. Every single time one of those moves appears, the fight instantly just gets so hard that it's pain. Sadly, I lose because of the self-damage from confusion. Now I decide to go take a look online and learn that Goomy can learn Thunderbolt. So I go to fly to Maulville, do that little side thing, and I grab it. After going back through the Elite Four, I make another save right before Steven, so I don't because I'm already level 100, there's not much else I can do, and I don't want to do all that pain again with the Elite Four. I just did it twice. Sadly, in this fight, Skarmory Toxics me. I just restart the save, and I give Phelan a P.E.K.K.A. Berry, Pecha, whatever. Yeah, so next fight after that, the Pecha Berry gets used, and then Light Screen and Confuse Ray, I decide to restart it again. I'm not gonna win that one, I just know it. The next time, I one-shot both Claydol and Cradilly, but Mega Metagross one-shots me with a Giga Impact. I need to be incredibly lucky to stand a chance at winning this. So I take the Pecha Berry off, and I put the Eviolite back on. But if I do that, that means I'm going to have to reset every time I get hit with Toxic, because there's no way I'm going to survive long enough for the Toxic damage to not kill me. So I'm going to try this a few more times and see if anything substantial happens. I end up dealing with a lot more confusion, and I genuinely believe that in order to actually win this, I need to get through all the other 5 primarily unscathed with Eviolite without getting confused, which is just an insanely small chance of actually happening. And honestly, after days and days of just me failing this over and over again, I just gotta say, unless you feel like I missed something, and if you do feel that, please make sure to comment it so I see it and can say, why didn't I think of that after I read it? But I'm just gonna call the run here and say that no, I can't beat Alpha Sapphire with only a single Goomy. The chances with Confusion and Toxic are just too much for me to deal with here, especially with all the stuff going on in my life right now. And it's honestly kind of disappointing to come back to this save after a year, and this led to a save where I just can't win because of the odds of getting me a good enough run where Skarmory needs to use Toxic and miss. Aggron's Dragon Claw needs to be a pretty low roll. The Claydol needs to die in the first hit from Muddy Water, and so it doesn't set up Light Screen. And I need Phelan to crit the Cradilly so it dies, and doesn't get a chance to confuse me, or Phelan just snaps out of its confusion or never hurts himself. And even then, I have no idea how Phelan would fare against Mega Metagross. Its Giga Impact just did such a massive amount of damage, I just don't think it's possible. On that note, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, make sure to like, and if you already haven't, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, and if you already haven't, subscribe, and have a wonderful day.